Raise your hand if you're excited to find out what dressing sharp really means. And how many of you want to look and feel your best at any occasion? All right, well, thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm Justin Gottlieb, and I'm going to be the trainer for the second part of the Awareness workshop. I want to acknowledge you all for being here. You are taking the next step in transformation, a unique way of transforming, which is your fashion, your look, and your conversations around your dress. You're also being in service. You're being in service to yourself, to the trainings, the students, current students and future students, as well as your seniors and staff. It's important to really take in this information and understand what the dress codes are and the conversations around it, because it does show up in the trainings. Is it all right if I tell you a little bit about myself? All right, thank you. I grew up in New York and New Jersey. I was probably the worst dressed human being you'd ever see growing up. My family had the worst fashion sense. There was no fashion forward thinking at all. So I grew up kind of getting made fun of because I would just dress however my musical taste would take me. So I listened to heavy metal for a while, and I was, chain wallet, ripped jeans, Metallica t-shirt. I started listening to hip hop. I had my sag jeans and an oversized shirt. Finally, I went into my fish phase where I started following fish around the country, and I was a straight up hippie. So I never actually really said, like, what do I want to dress like? What looks good on me? What do I feel comfortable in? It wasn't until I graduated college and moved to Manhattan, the fashion capital of definitely the US, and some might say the world. And that's where I really learned about tailored clothes and wearing what fits you right, what colors work for you. I worked in finance, and I was a wealth manager. So I was handling people's money. So sharp business professional dress was an everyday requirement in my career. And believe me, it matters what you're wearing when you're talking to people about investing in for their nest egg, for their retirement, and really for their livelihood. So if you ever think what you're wearing doesn't really matter and people should really just like look at me for who I am and that's all that it is, we just showed you guys that we're all always evaluating, whether we're evaluating ourselves or others, and we do make up stories about what people are wearing. I really took to fashion, and I started an online dating and social consulting company where I advised men on their dating lives, health and fitness, and of course fashion. Who wants to show up to a first date without the proper attire? So I was always having kind of this looking good conversation, and I'm really excited to take it down here. I moved to Miami a year and a half ago. I'm currently an online advertising salesman, and I travel around the country. I'm still meeting with clients on a regular basis, talking about different things this time. But now my dress is generally sharp business casual. In the advertising industry, it's a little more lax, so I can actually show up in jeans and a jacket and a nice dress shirt. So thank you again for all being here. I'm going to be telling you a little more about men's dress. We're going to have some more conversations around what shows up for us when we talk about dress and what we have on and when we're evaluated. And I'm going to give you some awesome tips and tricks. So, without further ado, let's talk about men's dress. So business professional dress, and this is within the gratitude trainings. For men, it needs to be a full suit. So this is not where you get out your sports jacket and wear your miscolored pants, wear your khakis. Business professional dress is a full suit. It's okay to be a little colorful with patterns. What I'm wearing right now is business professional dress. It's not sharp business professional dress. So I got a little accent here, I got a little purple, I got pink. I might not wear this to a C-level interview, but for a business professional dress, this works. With your shoes, you'll see this gentleman's wearing suede shoes, a little more casual, but still works with the suit. That's okay for business professional dress. And as far as ties, I know nowadays there's lots of different kinds of ties. This is a traditional silk tie. I know Thatcher loves to wear his knit tie. So there's lots of different ties that you can wear. For business professional dress, any tie will really work. And again, vivid colors and a little more flash in the tie is okay here. With any suit, you're going to wear a dress belt. Dress belt's going to be those thinner belts, not the kind of thicker casual ones, certainly nothing with a massive belt buckle or anything like that. And dress socks with your dress suit shoes. So no athletic socks, even if they're black athletic socks, really go out and get those thinner pairs of dress socks. It's more comfortable, lets your feet breathe, and it really looks a lot better when you pull up your pant leg or you're sitting down. Anyone looking at this picture, can you tell me what you think any distinctions are between business professional dress and sharp business professional dress? Thatcher?
The difference that I see mainly is the colors. These are more muted tones, more neutral tones, whereas the other ones had a bit more pop and flash.
Right, thank you, Thatcher. Give Thatcher a round of applause. Really, really good point. Herman, you want to jump in?
Yeah, the difference is the fabrics, the material is loud and very clean. You also have the option of 3 pieces, so which is the best, the jacket and
Excellent. And you've been around the trainings quite a bit, so you've seen people dressing sharp. And when you see that in the trainings or even in your life, what do you think?
when I see someone come up that way, I say it's up to something big, or they bring their confidence out and they know what their presence are very sharp.
Exactly, exactly. So thank you, Herman. And that's exactly it. This is a notch above. It does. You show up like you're up to something big. It's about the materials. It's about the colors here. So, I mean, this suit may not look that different from the business professional dress, but you see it's got a little shine. It's got kind of a more Italian design with the thinness of the suit as well. And obviously the gentleman with the three-piece suit, like how sharp does that look? That looks like he's going to be, going to a secret agent meeting or going to the White House, something really, really important. That's what we're trying to convey with sharp business dress. So, full suit, more conservative colors. This is not where you're trying to, use your craziest colors or anything that's really trying to draw attention from yourself. Because the message for this is you. You're the message. Again, think like you're a Wall Street guy or someone that's going on a C-level interview, or maybe you're going to the White House. Certainly you could put in a pocket square. I might not use one that's like this, colorful and wild, but a little pocket square with an accent that matches your tie and your shirt. For sharp, always polished dress shoes, leather shoes, none of the other more casual shoes. Really important, and I'll talk a little bit more about shoes later. More conservative silk tie. Single color, maybe a light pattern on it. Like that guy's got a pattern, but it's not really distracting and taking anything away from the outfit. Dress belt I mentioned before, and again, dress socks. Business casual dress. I am not sure what this gentleman's doing, but he is absolutely exemplifying a really great business casual dress outfit. And don't forget, we're going to have a distinction between sharp business casual dress and business casual. So here, they've got some nice colors going on. There's some good patterns. And you can see even his socks are matching his shirt. The requirements for this, for the gratitude training for men, you either have a collared shirt, tie, slacks and dress pants, or nice khakis, like he's exemplifying here, or you're going to go with the collared shirt, the sports coat, slacks, dress style pants, or khakis. So those are the two options for guys. Don't try and come in and make up something new. This is what the trainers really are very adamant about. This is what business casual dress is. Of course, shoes, again, you wear a more casual belt, and someone asked earlier about the thickness of a belt. I consider for men, those thicker belts are more casual, and the thinner ones are more for the dress suits. And again, dress socks. If you want to get a little crazier in business casual. And now when you apply this to your life, gentlemen, or any of the ladies who have men in your life, these are tips and things that really you can share and provide a lot of value to them. You want to ensure that you really know what business casual is, because I've been to plenty of places where business casual was jeans and a polo shirt, right? For the gratitude trainings, do not show up in a short sleeve polo shirt and throw a jacket on it. The trainers hate that. Okay, so really look at this as an example of it. Now, do you all see a distinction here between what these men are wearing and the other guys? Okay? Conservative, it's almost as if he put this color jacket on, he'd almost be a sharp business professional. Okay? So again, collared dress shirt, tie, slacks and dress pants, or collared dress shirt, sports coat, slacks, and dress pants. So here you don't see khakis. I would go with the kind of light wool dress pants when you're stepping it up a notch to sharp business casual. This gentleman's pretty much wearing a suit with no tie. Again, sharp business casual, nice dress shoes, none of the more casual shoes, and again, it just looks sharper. It looks like you're up to something rather than playing a little more playful with the business casual. Celebratory dress, our favorite. So, you may notice someone in the room here. At the discretion of each trainer. So everybody please, again, listen to what the trainer says. We've heard very different stories from different trainers. So sometimes they want you to show up in some kind of traditional garb that's a celebration for your history. Okay, people actually have done that. And I've heard some people encourage it as far as trainers, and some trainers actually are like, no, it's a different definition for them. So be very careful of that, and ensure that you're listening when the trainers are telling you what type of celebratory dress you should show up in. As we mentioned before, think wedding or New Year's Eve. Look sexy, confident, handsome, like really just like you feel like $1 million. Be yourself, and again, be respectful to the trainings. Any questions on celebratory dress, gentlemen?
I'd like to add something.
Please, Thatcher.
It's funny, I mean, that's a part of a wedding that I was in. I was a groomsman, so we had to go to Men's Warehouse, which I'm not a fan of, because I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to that kind of stuff. And it just demonstrates the value of a tailor, because the pants that and knowing yourself and standing in what you believe in, because what they wanted to put me in at Men's Warehouse, and were okay with putting me in. I mean, all the other groomsmen were fine with it, but I said, no, I'm bringing these back and we're going to have them tailored. Like the pants, I want these pants to fit me. And there's a noticeable difference between me and the groomsmen. So yeah, it just shows the importance to me of like knowing what you want, not being afraid to ask, make requests, and getting your tailor and having your clothes fit.
Excellent. And Thatcher, before you sit down, what comes up for you when you see someone in, maybe it's a nice suit, but it's just fitting them terribly?
You want to be honest?
I want you to be honest, always.
I get annoyed, but that's me. I mean, I'm not annoyed, I don't judge them, obviously I don't think they're a bad human being, but, I mean, yeah, I think a man should put on a suit that fits him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Thatcher. Appreciate it. So now it's great to know the dress codes, but it's really great to have some amazing fashion tips you can take home and use in your life, and you can also, of course, use in the trainings. So I put together 10 tips that I've picked up along the way in my life and my journey in many different careers. Some are a little basic, and then some are like really kind of things that I've heard a lot of people don't know, so I'm excited to share them with you. So perfect transition from what Thatcher was mentioning. Off the rack versus off the rack, tailored versus custom. I learned this in New York City because it's a big thing to be in at Wells Fargo and have a custom tailor come in and do your fitting in your office. That's like what they do. It's like a big thing there. But I didn't even know growing up that like that was a thing. I just thought I'd buy that off the rack, and I'm a medium, and that's what fits me, and I got a medium. It's the right size. Well, guess what? I'm absolutely an extra slim fit shirt guy. So when I buy a medium, I'm swimming in it. Okay, so when you're buying off the rack, there's certain brands that you can buy that you know will fit. Kenneth Cole and Hugo Boss happen to make really good slim fit shirts, so does John Barbados. So when you start to look at the brands and feel like what's good on you, that's really, really important. It can save you a lot of money because you may not have to get the tailoring that we're going to talk about next. If you are buying off the rack and maybe you don't have a regular size that fits any of the brands you've tried, you've got to get a tailor. Got to get tailoring so that it fits you right, whether it's the shirt, the suit, the pants, etc. Of course, it's going to cost a bit more money, but there's some great custom tailors where they will literally measure you from head to toe, and you'll get to pick specifications. This is a custom suit, and I was able to pick, on my shirt, I was able to pick the type of cuff that I want, the type of collar. I mean, there's like 8 different variations of collars, and you start to learn about what really works with you. So really important, something that a lot of people just overlook, and they think if I buy this suit, it should be fit. I'll just get the pants hemmed, and we're good to go. I kind of mentioned this a little bit, but there are all these different sizes, even just for shirts. If you're a big and tall guy, go to one of the big and tall stores. They've got plenty of stuff for you. And the different shirt sizes, classic, regular, trim, or slim fit, and they even have extra trim now. It's really become a big thing in the men's dress to offer as a brand a lot of different sizes. Little example here, that was then, this is now. This reminds me of like my dad's days in the 80s where like no one cared about tailoring. It was like, all right, I'm gonna just get my suit and I'm gonna be like walking around frumpy and swimming in it. And nowadays, it's all about the fit. Slim is in. So with that, it's also a lot of fashion gurus will tell you thin is in. Thinner lapels, thinner ties. This tie is probably a regular size tie as far as anything goes. They get really thin nowadays, and there's a reason for that as well. And again, tighter fitting pants. There's been a lot of conversations around how tight your pants fit in the trainings and things like that. You don't want them so tight that when you're sitting down, you're suffocating yourself or it's painful. But you do want it a little tighter than you typically imagine. I remember when I went from my typical kind of baggier suit pants where I didn't really get into my custom pants. It was a big transition. Sleeves of the suit. This is really important, and it's a very easy fix. The sleeves of your suit should reach the hinge of your wrist, okay? And then your shirt should come out about a ½ inch or a ¼ inch below that. I can't tell you how many times I see guys where their shirts are gone, and that immediately takes away from your entire outfit. I don't care how perfect it is. Your sleeve should not be rolling over your hand. It also shouldn't be up here, all right? And it's really great. It's just an awesome accent for your outfit if your shirt is coming through here, no matter what color it is. It just gives it a little extra pizzazz. Can everyone see that? Yes. Awesome. Tie length. When a man is standing up straight, his tie should come down to the top of his belt. Pants should be just about under the belly button. It can go between the top of the belt and the middle of the belt. If your tie's going down below your belt, it's too long, and if it's up here, obviously it is too short. So I've had times where I've retied my knot 2 or 3 times just to get it exactly right. If your tie, this is a great tip, and it's just simple, but it's really always stuck with me. If your tie has stripes or patterns in it, don't wear a striped and patterned shirt. It gets really mixy-matchy. It just kind of distracts everything, and sometimes it's almost disorienting. So if you're going to wear a patterned tie or something with stripes, wear that with a solid color shirt, and vice versa. Solid color tie. If I wanted to, I could wear maybe a striped shirt or something with boxes on it, because that would be a nice accent to the shirt. But again, it's not necessary, but don't take away from your outfit by putting too much together with your shirt and your tie. Simple rule, belt color should match your shoe color. Black shoes, black belt, brown shoes, brown belt. Where this gets interesting is where you get a nice pair of tan shoes and you're like, I don't have a tan belt, I'm just going to wear my dark brown belt with it. I'd recommend going out and getting a tan belt. You can find them for 20 or 30 bucks at Macy's or any of these other places. It doesn't have to be a super expensive belt, but when it matches your shoes, people notice. Lose the logos. As much as possible, don't buy any outfits that have massive logos or anything like that. Especially in the trainings, it's just distracting. I mean, if I'm a student and I see a staff member with like a big Ralph Lauren logo on something, like, it's going to take away from something. So, especially in the trainings, and I generally, in my life, like, it's great to buy a really nice brand, but it's even better when it doesn't say it, like, all over it. Invest in your shoes. This might be my #1 tip. I've spent more money on shoes than any other part of my outfit. And the reason is, they last, they're comfortable, and they look really good. Okay? So I know people, oh my God, how could someone pay $200, $300 on a pair of shoes, or even more? How could they do that? Well, there's a reason. When you put those on and they last 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 years, you know about it. Because you can spend $100 or $200 on a pair of shoes and they just are out in a year. Anyone ever see these things? Okay. These are called collar stays. These to me are vital. This is like the glue that puts your outfit together. Collar stays go under your collar. Any men's shirt is going to have a slot for them. And it simply keeps your collar fresh, crisp, and nice. Anytime you see a guy that's got his collar rolling under, or maybe it's flipping up, tell him, hey, do you have any collar stays? And if he doesn't, great trick I found on the road is, there's paper clips that are about this exact width and about this exact height, not the tiny ones, the kind of medium-sized paper clips. I've gone down to a hotel lobby when I'm late for a meeting, got 2 paper clips, stuck them in there, fresh collar. Awesome. And because you guys have been so great, I have a bonus tip for you, and this is, I see this showing up in the trainings all the time.
Yes.
The brakes, the brakes. So, a lot of people are always wondering, like, how long should my pants be? How should it look? This is the general array of brakes that you can have. A full brake, you can see there's like an actual crease in it, and it almost comes over a bit. There's also the quarter brake, half brake, the no brake. No brake, I don't love it. You know, if you're sitting down, your pants are going to come up really high. I recommend a half brake. These are These are about a half break. So, I think it fits for all situations, but the problem is when we have the like double overtime super full break, and you see guys that are just rolling over and over and over again. It's really simple, it's probably the cheapest hem you can get, it's just getting the bottom of your pants fit properly. And then also sometimes it's just where are you wearing your pants on your waist. Awesome. So, we just went over a lot of amazing tips for men, you just heard some amazing tips for women, you learned about the different dress codes. We want to make sure you get to share about it, to really take it all in. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to turn to someone next to you, and if someone was late, feel free to fill them in on anything they missed, and share for 5 minutes about what you learned, what you're taking away, and what you can take from this and bring into your life immediately. Alright? So, if anyone doesn't have a partner, feel free to make a triad, raise your hand if you don't, and we'll give you 5 minutes. Begin. About what maybe was most impactful for them so far, what they were sharing about with their partner. So would anyone like to share? Lee.
Real quick, just was talking the collar stays. We thought that they were just to show off the shirt in the package. When we pull all the pins, we used to just pull those out and throw them away. So I obviously didn't know. Over 20 years, I just throw it away.
There you
But
go.
this shirt actually has it in there, and I don't even realize it, but it's in there.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing. Thank you. And another thing to note with that is if you are getting your shirts dry cleaned, take them out. Because sometimes they'll iron your collar and it'll make like this weird kind of mark in there that you can never ever get rid of. So something else to keep in mind. But definitely don't throw them out. Although they're not expensive, they're a very important part of that shirt you just bought. Anyone else like to share? Anything important that came up, something they want to apply maybe right now or in their lives from their, yeah, anybody?
A lot. I have a question,
Maggie.
the length of our pants, like the capri length and everything is definitely out forever and ever, like, even when they're a dress material, like a dress, like the type of material is dressy, it's not like a cotton, but it's like a wool blend or something.
Okay, so Maggie, I wanted to make sure I have your question right. You were asking a question about capri pants?
Yes, like that, and having those at any time during the trainings for women.
No, capri pants are not business professional, and they're also not considered business casual as well.
Okay.
So in any event with business professional, sharp, business casual, you want to make sure that you have on full length pants. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, did that answer your question?
Yes, you did.
All right, let's give Maggie a hand.
So now I want to ask, has anyone ever asked someone an opinion about their physical appearance or their outfit and gotten a response that wasn't exactly what they were hoping for? Okay. Any of the gentlemen? Never. Interesting. Something to look at. So well, maybe that's it. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just gentlemen don't ask often. I actually did ask recently. I was getting ready, going out at night. I got a shirt that I like, fresh pair of jeans on, and I'm at my apartment and I asked my girlfriend, do you think I should wear this outfit? And she said, no, I'd wear a different one. So now, what might I have been thinking about myself when I got that response?
You're doing something wrong, like you did something wrong.
Okay. I'm wrong.
Don't look good?
I don't look good.
I don't look good.
I have bad style.
She's wrong.
Bad style.
I like that answer.
She's wrong. Anything else?
I know fashion.
I know fashion? Yeah, maybe. Anything else? That I might make up? What might I make up about the world?
You're not ready for me. You're not fashion forward like I am.
They aren't fashion forward. So, this is what I'm thinking. How might I act?
Irritated?
Irritated?
Frustrated, or,
Defensive?
Irritated, frustrated, defensive. What else?
Puzzle.
Disappointed. What was it?
Puzzle.
Puzzled.
Resentful.
Resentful. Perfect.
Egotistical.
Egotistical.
Ashamed.
There you go. Ashamed. Okay. Now, do you think if I'm acting in this way, there might be some kind of payoff?
feel superior.
So I get to feel superior. I get to
Feel better than.
better than. Okay.
Get attention. Be right.
Get attention. Be right. That's a good one we love here, right?
You need to control.
Control. Okay. Can we get one more? If I'm acting defensive, frustrated, irritated.
Victim.
Victim. I get to be a victim.
Woe is Justin.
So, what actually happened? Okay, and in this exact instant, what did my girlfriend say to me?
No, you shouldn't wear it.
Your outfit.
She didn't like it.
No, you shouldn't wear it.
Right, so, girlfriend said
You should choose something else.
to wear something else. Did this happen?
Yes.
No.
Did this happen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, this happened.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
It's a fact.
It's a fact. So we can call this actually happen. Now, did this happen?
No.
No.
In your own mind.
Okay, happened in my own mind, but it didn't actually happen. So what might we call this?
Story.
What I made up.
Yeah, whatever.
I heard it all over the place. This is our story and someone else, interpretation. Did this happen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did this happen?
No.
So how can we shift our conversation around feedback on our clothes, on our dress, or anything about our physical appearance, when all that happened was she said to wear something different? Can someone give me an example of a different story that could have happened here that may have resulted in something completely different?
Maybe she knew Dawn.
Dawn,
Maybe she
yeah,
knew
I
the
can see.
event.
Say that again?
Maybe she knew the event that you were going to and the person or you were dressed not appropriate for that particular event.
Great, so maybe my story could have been, wait, she's up to something. My girlfriend probably knows what this event's about, I didn't even check the invitation. So maybe I could actually make up the story that my girlfriend knows what she's talking about here, instead of me getting angry or frustrated or any of these things because I made up a different story. Now I made up the story, I'm gonna hold my girlfriend high, she's giving me great advice here, I get to go wear another outfit. Or I could also make up a story and just say, that's great that she says to wear something else, but I'm really comfortable, I think this outfit's perfect, and I'm gonna go ahead and wear this outfit anyway. So again, it's us collapsing the fact and the story that often gets us really frustrated or angry or going down a path that doesn't necessarily serve us. So when you're either evaluating or being evaluated, be sure to separate the fact from the story. Because it's when we can shift our perspectives that we can shift our experience and we can shift our lives. Thank you. Feels a lot better right now. Thank you all for sitting through the heat and the lights being out. I hope that was really valuable for you and well worth it. What we'd like to do now is offer for anyone who'd like to come up and get evaluated on their outfit. So, doesn't mean you're gonna come up and we're all gonna be like, you should do this, this, and that. We have a way of doing it where we're gonna tell you what works for us and what doesn't work for us. And again, this is just our evaluation. What story you make up about it is what you're choosing to make up about it. But this is extremely valuable because now you can see, although we all have blind spots. Someone out there might be like, I don't like the purple and pink together. And like, that'd be great for me to know because I can take that now into my evaluation and decide maybe next time I don't want to wear that or I'll wear it again. Anybody like to come up? All right, we already got one volunteer. Dawn, please come on up.
Okay, I've had this same look since '85, but that's not probably on so, this is my look. I'm in black from head to toe, all the time. Tailored, but the boots. I'm always in boots.
Okay, so how we're gonna do this then, I'm gonna ask Tracy to do the evaluation. All she's gonna say is what works for her and what doesn't work for her. And then anyone else who would like to chime in has the opportunity because you are open to feedback, correct?
No.
No. All right, thank you. Tracy?
Okay, Dawn, what works for me is I love the color, the black, definitely bold, subtle, professional look. What doesn't work for me are your boobs. What else doesn't work for me is your hair is pinned back. It's a little sloppy around the edges there.
It's hot, I'm waving.
And that's it, I'm complete.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Anyone else like to give any feedback? Cecilia?
What works for me is the dress. The dress, I think it can carry for multiple occasions. What doesn't work for me is the equestrian look of the jacket. I think if you unzipped it and wore it short and I think that would bring a fuller effect. And also what doesn't work for me is the hair. I think your hair would look gorgeous if it were down and out.
Awesome. Thank you, Cecilia. And if it's okay if you want to repeat something so she could really, get it, like maybe like to say what Cecilia said. So if anyone else would like to join in, would anyone else like to share any evaluation?
What works for me is the boots. I do, I'm a
Thanks.
boots girl. I love boots. I would say what doesn't work for me, if I have to say something, it would be probably just the hair changes because, I mean, your outfit says so much because the coat and the boots, but then the hair is such a simple pull back. And maybe if you had like in a bun or something just to kind of complement the statement you're giving with the whole boots and the long coat thing.
Thank you, Melody. Thatcher.
What works for me, I like the monochrome, like minimalist look. I really enjoy that. I think wearing all black is a powerful thing. I like it. I'm a fan of it myself. Yeah, so that works. The only thing that doesn't work for me is, I didn't notice it, she said it, but the jacket would look cool if it does separate at the zipper. Does it do that?
It does.
I think it would,
I feel
yeah.
like it's casual. I feel like it's
I
not
think
so
it would look
tailored.
good. I actually think
It's
so.
sort of, this is how the jacket is.
But does it zip unzip all the way or?
This
is
is
it-
all it just sits right there. But even that is a totally different.
Oh, never mind, keep it zipped. What doesn't work for me, as has already been said, is, your hair be cool there.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Thatcher.
What works for me is the colors, the fitting. I love the jacket. What doesn't work for me is that the jacket, the length, it's shorter than your dress. And what doesn't work also is the boots.
All right. Thank you. John, you got one more?
I actually have a
Kim?
question,
Oh,
if I
sure.
may, and this would be for Tracy, well, just because that's my sister and I know her story. Pardon me. When do you have, if I might,
Yes.
when you have to, she has a broken ankle and she, has issues wearing heels, so when you have a situation like that, I know you said some flats, but if you are fashion forward and you like to be trendy and edgy, what's your recommendation for shoes? If boots are not business professional, but flats are maybe according to some boring, or like what would be your recommendation for shoes in a situation where you couldn't put your ankle like this, but you want to be edgy? Does that make sense?
Yes, so Kim, I want to make sure I understand your question. If someone, a woman has, or a man has a problem with their ankle and they can't wear flats, will boots be appropriate?
If they can't wear a heel, what are some other options besides flats for business professional?
That's a great question. All right, let's get them in hand. So Kim, to answer your question, that would be definitely a question for one of the trainers to specify. And I make up that if there is a medical issue with someone's ankle, that a pair of boots would be applicable for that particular situation. But in any event, we've had people that have broken ankles or feet. We brought it to the trainer's attention, and it was A-okay for them to wear that boot or flat shoe or what may have you for that particular situation. Does that answer your question?
It does, Tracy.
When you say, because there are, I've seen low cut boots that
They
still
look the
look
shoe.
dressy, and that they're not too much of a heel. And if they were to wear that when they're required to wear business professionals, there are such things, right? That, without her having to tell them that she has an issue, would that go well? Like, would that apply? Shorter, low cut boots.
So Melody, I heard you say, your question is, can a young lady wear short-cut boots whether
Right.
they have a problem or not with their feet, right?
Right.
Okay, great question. And Melody, I would say, again, that's at discretion, depending on how the boot may look. If you're wearing a pantsuit and they cover the boot and it's at the appropriate height and it's closed toe or even open toe, because it could appear as a pump if you have on a pair of pants and it's covering. So I would say that would be okay. Again, trainer's discretion there. If they feel that it's not business professional, then they would definitely bring it to your attention or a staff member. Does that answer your question, Melanie?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's give a big round for Ron for coming up into the hot seat here. conservative nature of it. I like that I can see your shirt cuff coming out about 1/2 inch. It does look like one side, maybe, I don't know, yeah, maybe just fix your jacket a little, okay. That's great. It looks like you've got about a full break or a little bit more, so I like that, that works for me. The shoes work for me for business professional, they wouldn't work for me for sharp business professional. What are you trying to go for here?
Job interviews.
Job interviews, okay, so I might go for sharp business professional for any job interview, and I might just go with a different type of shoe that's got more of a leather shine and maybe kind of a wood bottom. Okay, maybe a tie up as well could work too. Anybody else have any feedback for Lee?
Lee, what works for me is the suit, the tie, the hem, the sleeves, everything's working perfect. What doesn't work for me is the pencil and the fit. I love the sleeves are good. I feel like the shoulders and the jacket can be custom. A little fit.
I lost it.
There you go, so yeah, it's time to bring it. Yeah, awesome, thank you.
Melody?
What works for me is a tie. I like the material of the tie. And the colors too. What doesn't work for me is, I know you just said you lost weight. Maybe you can keep the jacket and just tailor at the waist just a little bit more to fit your body more. To embrace that, I lost weight, right? And maybe, yeah, just because considering the change, the shift in weight, probably maybe just a little bit tailor your jacket on the sleeves. Yeah, but other than that, it's great.
Awesome. I want to ask, we got one more? One more. Oh, sure.
You said that that's for a job interview look for
Correct.
you? Is that, he's double-breasted, is that like
Double-breasted suits?
is that with the buttons on both sides? For a job interview?
Yeah, you can do that for a job interview,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Double breast is actually making a huge comeback, but
Yeah.
Okay.
going to do double breast, you definitely want to make sure it's a fitting
Fitted.
coat.
Yeah.
And there's a distinction, because there's European cuts, there's British cuts, and then there's American cuts. American tailoring is gonna usually be boxier and bigger, so us Americans, for some reason, we like American, men around the world have been dressing like American men are starting to for years. And we're just really catching up. We've really been the almost like the laughing stock, if you will. But so it's important to remember, if you're getting an American cut, it's cut American, tailoring is gonna get it to look like a European cut or a British cut. So yeah, it's important to remember.
Really good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the participation.
One thing to say, real quick, and I don't think anybody caught it, and my question is does it matter, that these pants are not part of the suit? I have the pants, but they have dog hair on them. So you have a different set of pants.
So this is a great example of last minute, I was carrying coffee over here, and I was like, wow, what would happen if I just dropped this coffee on my suit right before this? It's always good to have a backup. Now, I don't think that anybody noticed.
No.
So,
Can you tell now that you know?
now I'm up close at least slightly. So, great move by you, the last minute adjustment. I would also obviously get a,
Well, all my
Ben
suits are
hair.
blank, so yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
but yes, it's okay, no one notices, but I would say, obviously, try and wear it, especially if you're on a job interview. You never know the eyesight that people are looking at, and they might look at that as sloppy in some way. I want to ask you before you sit down, how did it feel to be up here? Was anything coming up? I noticed when someone commented on your, you kind of, I'm taking the pencil out.
I put the pencil in earlier, I don't know.
That's okay. Would you like to share about kind of what was coming up being up here and being evaluated?
No, I'm not, yeah, of course, if somebody says something, you want to adjust it, you want to fix it. As soon as I do, I want to fix it. But other than that, I really want the feedback because, I want to be more successful in the job interview, so I definitely welcome the feedback.
Great. Awesome.
One more question. One more question.
Sure.
The tie.
Yes.
So literally, I don't wear suits that often. My parents are gone. I don't have anybody that can hey, show me how to tie. I'm literally on YouTube tying the tie.
Great place to go though.
Right, absolutely. So I noticed there's different types. Yours is bigger, this one's tight for some reason. This is smaller. So I know there's Windsor, half Windsor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was gonna put that up there, but it's a lot to get. There's like 16 different ways you can tie a tie. There's some really fancy ways. I was gonna tell you, YouTube or any of those places, just look how to tie. I'd go with the simple knot. It's the easiest way to go around. The half Windsor and the Windsor look great. I notice you kind of have to find longer ties sometimes, or they don't really sit right. But certainly explore on YouTube, you know, and see what works for you. And you know, after a few times, you could get almost any knot. Cool. Thank you, Lee. So we are approaching 9 o'clock. So we want to wrap things up here. Kim, did you have a question?
I have the quickest tip,
Sure.
please, if you let me. For ladies and gentlemen, when you buy a new suit, just make sure the big X that holds the seam, you know, it comes out, because a lot of people, it's the same color sometimes, so we leave it in. But that big X is called a basting stitch, and it's just for travel, so that when you have a pleat, it doesn't bend up, let's say, when it's traveling. So just look at your suit and make sure to pull those stitches out. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. Don't throw away those collar stays.
Now, and also the stitching in the pocket, sometimes people don't realize it's actually a pocket.
And sometimes you could keep that, you know, like I tend to keep mine so that throughout the time that they don't start to sag, but that's up to your preference as well.
That's a great point, because these are always sewn shut, and there was a few suits I was like, oh, I guess these don't have a pocket, I can't wear my pocket square, and then I realized you have to take a scissor, cut it open so that you can fit your pocket square in, so.
And then also for men, when some men will actually keep the name brand tag or the.
Oh, on the label thing? Yeah, that's a no-no. I would not do that.
Yeah, I see people leaving and forget to cut that.
Yeah, thank you, Ernie. One more, and then we're gonna move on. Lee?
Dry cleaning, how
Yes.
often?
That's a great question. Lee wants to know how often to dry clean. I try and get away with, if I can, if there's, you know, it wasn't a very heavy use, I wasn't sweating. Certainly, if there's a stain, do a full inspection. If there's a stain, get it dry cleaned right away, not just because you need to, you just gotta get that stain out. Otherwise, you know, 1, 2, 3 might be pushing it. But it really also depends, like if you're financially, just do it every time. The problem is when you do it too much, you can wear down the material. So there is a balance there, but to me, I buy a suit so I can look fresh every time. And so I'm gonna go and kind of do it a little more often. Awesome, thank you, Lee. So I wanna wrap things up here. Thank you all again for spending your evening here with us. I hope you all got some valuable information. We went over the men's and women's dress codes. We gave you some great tips for fashion in your lives. Please share it with the community, share it with others. We also talked about some conversations around the stories we make up about fashion and dress and evaluation. So go back into your lives and think about the stories that you may be making up about different things and what kind of interpretations you can make that will serve you and perhaps those around you. We all got to experience being evaluated in some way, either at the beginning or if you came up here. Notice how that felt and how other areas of your life are being evaluated, and you know how your reaction is, and maybe that can help you break through something else in your life.